said they love most about Sonic the Hedgehog, like Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations. Actually, speaking of colors, these guys, the wisps right here, fill up our boost bar, and then we can use the boost buttons like that to kind of blaze through any obstacles or enemies in our path. In the top right, you're going to see some of the characters jumping in, talking to us. The cast of characters are all there, so fans will hopefully like seeing them return. The game itself is actually, I'm kind of going really quickly, but I'll slow it down to show you guys.
Yeah. I mean, take your time.
Games,
Plenty of time.
you can go fast, but by jumping twice, I can do the homing attack there.
Yeah.
And I can also double jump just by doing the jump without moving too quickly. And then I'm going to go up here. All right, cool. So this game's storyline is a little bit different from most of the past Sonic games that we've released. In this game, Eggman has actually taken over the world.
Oh.
And it's up to Sonic, classic Sonic, and an original character that players will make to fight and take back the world. And that's kind of the key storyline of the game.
Oh, okay, cool.
So as I'm going through here, you're going to notice
so we're switching to a side scrolling.
Yeah, did you see that? Yeah.
Seamless, nice.
Exactly. It's a lot like Generations, a lot like Colors. And we're looking at, like, what did people really enjoy? What were the best moments for 3D Sonic? And that kind of led the team towards this new direction, which is take what they like, what they love, and don't be afraid to add in some new things, too. We have changed the physics for classic Sonic a little bit. We've changed some things for modern Sonic, and the custom character plays very differently, and I'll show you guys that in just a little bit here. There we go.
I saw that rail grind.
You like that?
Back when Sonic Adventure 2 came out, I bought some soaps, and I would like try to grind down rails in my friend's yard.
That was like the coolest moment when you were a kid. Is like, I grew up, with Sonic, and that's part of what the fun's been, with the Sonic social media and the Twitter account, is that we've taken that sass, right, that Sonic had in the 90s and tried to kind of bring that back a little bit.
Yeah.
You'll notice these games, they have that attitude for Sonic a little bit.
Nice.
So that's modern Sonic. That's one of the 3 gameplay styles. Next, we'll take a look at classic Sonic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In 2011, we made a game called Sonic Generations. It was like a celebration for the 20th anniversary. For classic Sonic, instead of showing the 2D side-scrolling that he normally goes through, we've actually got a boss fight here.
Oh, okay.
This is a reference to the original Green Hill Zone boss fight, where he had a wrecking ball. This time it's a little more dangerous. He's got a spinning saw blade. I'm going to try to dodge that. Let's see.
A health bar and everything.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
I love how vibrant all the colors are.
It's really
looks
bright.
amazing.
Really bright. It's
and the
beautiful.
music changes too, depending on who you're playing as. So modern Sonic has more traditional Sonic style. Classic Sonic has like a very retro throwback music. And then the hero
just like the first game, he then has a second massive phase with giant drills and everything.
It wouldn't be a boss fight without multiple phases, right? So now we got to jump here. Stop these blocks from hitting us in the face. There we go. We're going to bounce some of these back towards him.
I saw Tails talking to him. So do we have like classic Tails and there's like the modern Tails and all that stuff too?
No classic Tails in this one. Just classic Sonic making an appearance.
Okay.
And all the other characters will be what you expect from like the modern iterations of them.
Tails is my favorite character, which is why I asked. I always want more
Tails is a good character.
Yeah.
It's a good character. You're gonna like Mania when we get to that in a little bit, I think.
Oh man, I'm excited.
And so I'm gonna keep bouncing these things back towards Eggman. There we go.
I gotta say, you're doing a great job playing and like talking at the same time. I always choke.
It's not very hard. It's not very easy.
This is what happens when you play like the demo 100 times before you come to E3 and you're like, all right, I can.
You're looking away from the TV to like answer my question.
Oh yeah, I could just like stare at you the entire time probably, and we'd be okay. All right, one more hit, and then I've got him, and we'll take a look at the custom character. He's gonna fling some more stuff here. So he's kind of like throwing parts of Green Hill Zone, little checkerboard chunks at us. There we go.
Yeah, I love you can see the background has all that Green Hill.
Yeah.
Notice the dust in the desert. It's actually kind of like a desert Green Hill. It's because this Eggman has taken over the world. It's had some adverse effects on the environment. People may not know this. A lot of the viewers probably will know this, though, but the original story of Sonic was actually kind of this like nature versus technology thing going on. And so you'll notice some similarities within this game. Eggman's taken over. Here's what's happening to the world because of it.
Wow. Okay, cool.
All right, time for one more in Sonic Forces. That's the Avatar stage. Now, we've got this randomized.
Oh.
So, like, this is a custom character on the left there, and in the demo here at E3, it's randomized because we didn't want people to spend like an hour in line customizing, whatever character. But you can choose from one of 7 different animal types. Each animal type has its own special ability. Some might pull in rings. Some might have an extra ring when they get hit.
Can I make one that looks just like me?
Like just like you. That might be tough considering they're all generally animals. But you can maybe make a bird that looks kind of like you could do like a little flick thing in the front.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I never
maybe try that.
myself as like a bird person, but I could get behind that.
You could totally do that. And you can accessorize it quite a bit within the game. As you clear the levels, you'll be unlocking different things to outfit and equip your character with.
Oh, nice.
And as with any game that has custom characters, of course, we had to put them in the cutscenes. So if you want to be really silly, you know, you can kind of do that. And here's the serious cutscene, and then here's your character walking in with this crazy accessories. Like, okay, sure, why not? You know. Now, the cool thing about the Wispawn, I'm platforming right now with that gadget I equipped. It's called a Wispawn, and I'm getting the burst, and it kind of lets me just bounce through here. There we go.
Just fly through the level.
Yeah, exactly. But in addition to platforming, I can also hold down R2 here to use it for
flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go back. All right, we'll go this way, I guess. So I'll show you guys. As we run through, I can just kind of hold this down to mow down enemies.
Oh, nice.
And there we go.
Everyone needs a flamethrower.
Yes.
Just why not, right?
Why not?
And you can customize this. So I could play this level with the flamethrower and beat it and be like, I want to try that with a different Wispawn. And I could go with a totally different style of attack, a totally different style of platforming. Now, it is important to note that even though Sonic goes fast, sometimes you got to slow down just a little bit.
No,
and that's what these sections are for. It's kind of this is harkening back to the platforming required in a lot of the old Sonic games. There we go. Whoa, whoa, that was the hard part. All right,
that looks
I'm
awesome.
feeling better now. That was that's the hardest part right there.
If you have 50 rings and you go through a checkpoint, will the little ring be above it?
Not in this one. Not in this one. It's a good Sonic 2 reference, though. Oh, come on, there we go. Now, oh yeah, back here, that was a red star ring. So the red star rings are collectibles. You see on the left there.
Yeah.
It's a reason to go back and replay a level and find, you know, can I collect them all? And maybe there's something in the game that people can collect them all. I won't say any more than that, you know. But we like adding things in so that you have a reason to go back and replay a level over and over and over and find something new.
Are we going to be looking for Chaos Emeralds and Forces?
We haven't said anything about Chaos Emeralds just yet. So the storyline and kind of what it is, the reason that Eggman's taken over the world will all be revealed in the future. Yeah.
Cool.
Here I'm going
Jumping ahead, Justin. Jumping ahead.
He's asking the good questions. You know? Gotta hand it to him. All right, now I'm using the bumpers at this point, R1, L1, to kind of jump left and right. I'm trying to dodge these sections that this giant enemy crab robot is throwing at us.
I know what you did there.
Did you catch that?
I caught it.
Now, we're not going to flip it on its back for massive damage or anything else, but what we are going to do is just keep dodging, and then kabam!
Boom! Great!
Hey, check it out.
Whoa!
Oh, cool.
So we go into this little cinematic moment. We're going to wrap. We have like a little grappling hook we use to wrap around the crab's legs, spin it over, and then there we go. And so that's kind of how the custom character plays.
Wow,
cinematic
awesome.
moment. Yeah, surprise.
So does the wisps and everything, is that limited to the custom character, or can Sonic use those as well?
So Sonic uses primarily just the boost wisps for his boost gameplay, and then your custom character is going to get to use whatever type of wispons that you collect as you go through the game.
So it really is 3 different ways to play the game.
It totally is, and even the controls for the custom character are a little bit different from modern Sonic.
Nice.
That's because we didn't want to make just Generations 2.
Sure.
And we wanted to add something that kind of evolved the gameplay a little bit. And so that's why what you saw there was very unique as we got to all 3.
Well, even you said, like, even the avatars, they have different weapon options, and they have different characteristics. You could actually go back and play it with each of those differently every time.
That's right. And some parts of the levels will have specific sections built for different wispons.
Oh, cool.
So you'll see a trail of rings maybe, and the lightning one will let you follow that trail into the sky to get a secret path, right? So there's all sorts of things hidden in there to encourage people. Once you've beaten it once, you haven't seen everything. You know, go back, try it again, and keep finding out more.
Nice.
Very cool.
So, yeah, that's Sonic Forces. When is Sonic Forces coming out?
Sonic Forces comes out this holiday.
Ooh,
this holiday?
Yeah,
nice.
this holiday. It's going to be a year of 2 Sonic games.
Well,
Forces comes out the end of the year, the holiday, yeah.
And then there's another Sonic game that we're
is.
also here to talk about. Shall we dive in and start talking about Sonic Mania?
Let's do it. Let's talk about Sonic Mania.
Okay, cool. Sonic Mania is a game that I'm personally very excited for as a longtime fan of Sonic. Ever since I was a kid, you know, I've been a fan of Sonic 2, the original trilogy and all that. This feels like a true follow-up to that the original trilogy plus Knuckles. How's the reception been since you guys announced it?
Okay, first I caught the and Knuckles that you just threw in. That was good. Yeah, this was a game that started off. Oh, here we go. You can see it. This was a game that started off as this idea of what if we did a new Sonic game that looked and played like it came out in the mid-90s. That looked and played, you know, like it could have come out on the Sega Saturn back in the day, you know, like. And that was the coolest thing about this is not only is it a really fun game to play and it's very authentic, but the team behind it is also kind of a special story too.
Yeah, hardcore Sonic fans working on it, right?
Essentially, but more than just fans, they're actually professional developers. And one of the main guys, Christian Whitehead, did the mobile remasters of Sonic CD and Sonic 2 and Sonic 1. And every time we did a remaster, it would be better than the game originally was. He'd be like adding things in and like, I put Tails in here. Hope that's okay. I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we got to the end of that, and it was just like, instead of always doing remasters, what if we did something that added new content that could be on consoles, you know, that would be a really huge gift for Sonic fans? And they came in and pitched the idea, and now we have this amazing team of indie developers. They're all very good at what they do that are making this game, and we're so thrilled for it.
It really feels like a celebration of Sonic as a character and as a franchise and as a you know, symbol of the 90s and of our culture and everything. It looks fantastic.
So this is like a throwback to the classic Sonic, but what new features did you guys add that weren't in any of them before?
There's a lot of stuff in there. One of the big things that we've talked about already is that classic Sonic, in the old games, all right, so we have Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic, right? Tails can fly. You know that because you love Tails, right? Knuckles can glide, and he can, like, hit a wall and climb up the wall, right?
And punch stuff.
And he can punch stuff. Okay, that was in our trailer.
Yep.
And then...
I'm a big fan, I told you.
it was a good trailer, yeah. And then Sonic, though, didn't have anything. Like, he could curl up into a ball, but so could the other characters. We're like, wait a minute, this is kind of imbalanced. Sonic doesn't have any ability, and so Christian and the team said, we have an idea. It's this thing called the drop dash. And if you jump and hold the jump button a second time, when you hit the ground, you'll instantly spin dash. Which is kind of cool because the spin dash, you know, Sonic's in a ball and he curls up and goes really fast, right? And it's that, but it's a little boost of speed. And you wouldn't think that little bitty boost of speed would have that big of an impact on the gameplay. But actually it does. It has a huge impact on the gameplay. And so we think speedrunners are going to have a good time with that.
So are there like levels designed with that in mind where people, the designers as they're making it, they consider like, we think the player should do a drop dash here, then
we'll never force you to do it. Never force you to do it. That's the thing about Sonic is it's a game that is built for anyone to play. Whether you've played Sonic every game over the last 25 years or whether you've not touched it since the 90s, you could play Sonic Mania and go, oh, I remember this. You know, I get this. This feels the same, right? Here's Chemical Plant, actually, that we're showing off now with Knuckles. This is a good example of another thing that we've added and changed. This is a totally new act. This did not exist in Sonic 2. But what you see here are the blue water that was in Sonic 2.
Yeah.
You can turn it into a gel now in our version of Chemical Plant X2, and you can bounce on that.
I still have nightmares about drowning in the chemical plant, though.
I've told many people here at E3 that if you need a good alarm clock to wake up to, perhaps the best one is the drowning music from Sonic the Hedgehog.
That's a good call.
You will wake up screaming every morning.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Yeah, the sound really is really important in this. I mean, it sounds exactly like it used to.
Of course.
Did you guys have to like remaster everything and then like, revamp all the tunes, or did you start fresh?
All right, this is a cool story too. So I've told you already, that a lot of the developers are big fans of Sonic that are now professionals. Christian, Simon, the team at PagodaWest, those are the key main devs. But the musician is much the same. This is a guy that got his start doing fan remixes of Sonic music on YouTube.
Oh, no way.
And now he is developing professionally for the game, making the original soundtrack. And his name is T. Lopes.
Cool.
Yeah, and T is fantastic. He's taken a lot of the original tracks and completely remixed them. He's totally updated them. And then for the new zones that we've got Mirage Saloon, we've got Studiopolis. These are brand new zones that were never seen in a Sonic game or even referenced in most cases. And he's made totally different tracks. And so we're pretty stoked for those. We've put a couple of those on YouTube and given them out to people. Like, listen, the music for Sonic games is almost consistently always really good.
Yeah.
And T has done a phenomenal job living up to that bar and, in my opinion, even surpassing it.
I'm a sucker for great music and games. And Sonic 2 is one of the best gaming soundtracks of all time. So I'm super excited. So this game is, of course, being made for PlayStation 4, current gen consoles, but it still retains. It looks like they're working within the constraints of the old, the Sega Genesis and older consoles. How closely are they trying to stay within those boundaries, or are there areas where they're letting themselves kind of go wild with the new hardware?
It's interesting. This is a good question. They have kind of limited themselves to a certain extent, and the era they're trying not to go past is around that mid to late 90s era, but before the 128-bit. This is, we're talking like the 32-bit
so like
kind of
CD area.
Exactly. Kind of around that point. Like, what might you have seen? The cool thing is that it was roughly that time that audio started getting really interesting in games, and the audio quality started jumping up from the chiptunes that we were used to something really cool, real instruments, right? And then. As far as the rest of the game is concerned, the graphics, everything you see, it looks a lot like what you might have seen in the 09s. But there's some other little tweaks and things in there that it's actually a little bit better one of the artists, his name is Tom, the lead artist. He's updated and gone through with every single sprite you see in the game, whether it's Knuckles like we're seeing here, whether it's the enemies you're seeing floating around.
Wow.
Not only have they updated all of the sprites, but they've also gone in and added frames of animation. So you may not notice it at first, like, oh, Sonic's running, but maybe it looks a little smoother, and that's because they've added frames of animation that at first you take it for granted, right? Oh, it's cool. but it's there. Here's one of the new zones. This is
looks
Mirage
incredible.
Saloon, playing his Tails here. Brand new zone. There's a wanted poster for Knack the Weasel in the background. He's like a really kind of random, obscure character. The Sonic fans, we all know him and love him.
Yeah.
That's nice. There's all these little Easter eggs because, like you said, if you haven't played it since then, you can jump right in. But for those like hardcore fans like Justin here, I think they're going to be the ones that go, "Oh my God, I saw that."
I think those call-outs are for people who are even more hardcore than me.
Yeah.
I've seen folks like Nick Robinson from Polygon is catching all this stuff as you guys are releasing new gameplay footage. He's like, "Wait, that's the Hornet van. Hold on a second." I'm having fun watching him react to a lot of this stuff as it comes out.
Yeah.
We've had a great time just showing him the little things in the game, like watching his